I'm David with Van Life Midlife. This week, I'm headed down south to the Smoky Mountains. I'll sleep in my van by the side of the highway, pitch a tent, hike into the clouds, make some meals, and make some memories. So come with me as I spend a week in the Smokies. Last time on Van Life Midlife, we drove into the Great Smoky Mountains. We hiked the Laurel Falls Trail and took in some of the scenery. This time, we're going for an overnight in the backwoods.
What's going on, everybody? I am just cooking up a little breakfast before I hit the trail for some backcountry backpacking and tent camping tonight. I'm not going to show you breakfast this morning because I got up a little late and I want to get on the road, get on the trail. But I'm going to have some corned beef hash, some eggs, and some coffee to get going. After that, I've just got to double check my pack, make sure I have enough food, and get on the trail. So I'm going to catch up with you guys after that. All right, I'm packed up, ready to hit it. Off we go.
The Great Smoky Mountains National Park straddles the states of Tennessee and North Carolina. The Appalachian Trail, a backpacking trail running from Georgia to Maine, passes through the center of the park and goes over some of the highest points in the Smokies. In the late 1800s, much of what is now the park was owned by logging companies. These logging companies clear-cut a lot of the forests and really destroyed a lot of the natural beauty of the area. The National Park Service wanted a park in the eastern United States, but didn't have a whole lot of money to establish one. Businesses and private citizens, as well as the federal government, all kicked in money and bought the land that became the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I've really learned to embrace solo travel. I like not having to depend on anybody else, being on my own schedule, and doing the things that I want to do when I want to do them. But I have noticed that since I've started filming my adventures, well, it really slows me down. In fact, getting shots like this require that I cross this water not once, not twice, but 3 times.
The path, I can tell, this part of it is a whole lot less traveled. It's a lot more rocky and a lot more places where you could really twist an ankle. Fortunately, it's uphill, but only slightly. For those of you who have hiked any part of Shawnee State Park in Ohio, it's much more strenuous, much more hilly. But this, I have to say, is much more beautiful. It's a very cool and a very crisp morning. Despite that, because of the load I'm carrying, and I'm walking slightly uphill, I'm starting to sweat. So the hat came off, and you can't see it, but the jacket's unzipped to try and cool off a little bit. I'm well layered. I may have to stop after a little bit here and take a layer off because I'm sweating, and that's not a good thing. But look at what I'm walking next to.
Even though I'm out in the backwoods, I'm not alone. I shared the path with a few other hikers, the occasional fly fisherman, and this family on horseback. And while riding horses through the Smokies sure looks fun and definitely got added to my bucket list, my plans involve moving forward on 2 legs, not 4.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's getting warm, so it's time to shed some layers. Whew. Got a little steam rising. So I think I'm about halfway to campsite 37, and this seems like a good spot to take a break. .2 miles to get here, and I made it to Camp 37 in the Smokies. I'm on the North Carolina side of the border right now, but the border to Tennessee is not too far away. My next order of business is to get set up and get my bag up in a tree away from the bears. We're in bear country here. Black bears are very, very prevalent in the Smokies, and this is the time of year when they are in major search of food, trying to beef up before winter hibernation. So we are required to put our packs up in these tree hoists and keep them away from the bears. I've got everything that I'll need for tonight except for my food and my cooking supplies. Those are in the pack and they're going up in the tree, and I'm going to show you how we do that now. The pack has one of these hangers on it. You just thread the hook through there, grab on, and hoist her up. Then you clip it over here. Onto the tree like so. And there it is, safe from the bears. I'm on Low Gap Trail. I'm headed up to a spot about 2.5 miles away from where I'm camping. There's something that I want to do up there, and something I want to show you guys that I think is kind of cool. This trail is a lot more rugged than the other one I was on. I'm certainly glad that I'm not carrying my backpack on it. A lot more changes in elevation. A little bit more treacherous as well. Catch up with you guys up top. The Big Creek Trail from where I parked the van to where I set up camp was about 1,400 feet of elevation, if I remember correctly with what I read online. This trail is more than making up for it. Oh my goodness, it is kind of rough going, honestly, and slow going, because it's all uphill. Means I'll be booking it downhill, but man, I'm kind of beat. But I have a goal. I need to embrace the suck
and I need to get up this hill. So I'm going to keep pushing forward. This is kind of disappointing. This trail that I'm on right now, it's supposed to go from North Carolina to Tennessee. It was supposed to be 2.5 miles from where I pitched my tent along this trail to get from North Carolina into Tennessee. I've been walking the better part of 2 hours, and I was hoping I'd see a marker or something saying that, hey, you've gone from North Carolina into Tennessee, but I haven't seen one. Given the fact that the sun is going to be behind this mountain that I'm on in probably the next 30 minutes, I'm going to call it. I'm going to turn around, head back down towards camp. That's quite enough hiking today, and I've probably got an hour walk back. So we're going to turn around, head out the way we came. There's my tent. I'm maybe 100 yards away from it, but unfortunately I have probably another quarter mile till I get there. Unless I want to go straight down, which I do not. Make some dinner. All right, for dinner tonight, got a one-pot meal. Very, very simple. I went to my local grocery store before I left. I bought this pre-cooked packet of quinoa and brown rice. We're going to give that a fry up. And we're going to put some of this summer sausage in it. I brought one kitchen utensil. Tried to pack kind of light for this one. It's Thanksgiving, so tonight I'm having a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. Yep, quinoa, brown rice, and summer sausage. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Dinner's over. Time to rehang the bag. Well, I am getting ready to crawl into the sleeping bag. It's not too terribly late yet. It's right around 6 o'clock, but it's dark, and I did a whole bunch of walking today, so I'm bushed. Hey, I really want to thank you guys for coming along with me on this adventure. We're actually going to continue this in my next video, but do me a favor, smash that like button, go ahead and hit subscribe, and we will see you in probably about a week. Good night.